Before we jump into the demo, I just want to kind of reiterate something that Alex mentioned. The pandemic really made what could be argued as a nice to have, made it a must have for distributors, and that's the e-commerce channel. And so we really wanted to develop something in a very productized way that allowed distributors to simply connect their e-commerce platform to our distribution system to allow them to manage the orders, pick, pack, ship, and so on and so forth. And so that's what we're going to take a look at today. The connector, we're going to see an order flow through and just how simple that can be. In the absence of something like this, a connector that allows you to easily pass orders automatically into your system, you may be doing something like a flat file download and then an upload. You may be rekeying these orders into your system. Those are duplicate in nature. It's going to extend that time, cost more money, and it could lead to significant errors that can be costly down the line. So we want to make it simple, bring the orders in seamlessly, allow you to process them out. And so many of you are familiar with the Sales Monitor. I'm starting there just to provide a little bit of context. So I've got my workflow set up here. And I have a Shopify import queue. And so within our connector, we allow you to define the destination queue that your documents are going to flow into. And that's what we're going to see today. We're going to see a document in real time drop into that bucket. And so with that, let's talk a little bit about the connector. And this is the sort of the connector setup page. And I want to start here because I want to illustrate the fact that this can be a multi-component connection. You can do a number of things. First, you could do an order export. So order export, once you have the orders in, if you want to push something like tracking information back out to your platform, we can do an order export. We can also do an inventory export. So if you want to push inventory levels back up to the platform in real time so that your customers are seeing what you have available, you can do that as well. We also have a product export if you want to push product details up to the platform. And what we'll be talking about today is the order import, where it all starts. So you have an order placed in your Shopify platform by one of your customers. We want to bring that in to SalesPad so you can process it with our robust tool set. And so with that, we also have a settings section that allows you to define the particulars of your mapping. And we allow you to do that all through the UI so that there's very little to no developer requirement involved to get this set up and running. And so you can jump in here to something like order import as an example, and you can see your sales document assignment mapping and open this up. And this is simply going to allow you to define the target field and then the source. And so what field are you going to map that to? And so in this instance where we're looking at sales document assignment mapping, you can see things like sales document ID. What order do I want to create? And this is just your GP sales doc ID. The sales doc type, your zip, your state, your billing address, shipping address, all of that can be mapped very simply through the UI with no developer involvement. So it's very productized, very easy to get set up, very short time to value for you. And so with that, let's go ahead and actually look at a real scenario. I'm going to jump into my Shopify storefront here, and you can see that I do have a new order that was placed. It's in my orders queue, and this is something that I want to bring into the SalesPad environment. And so I've received that order through my site, and if I want to pull this into SalesPad, I'm going to run my order import. Now, I'm running this on demand just so that I can show in real time in the demonstration this document flowing through. We also have the ability to set this up on a schedule, so you can run this every minute, every 5 minutes, a particular time of day, a particular day of the week. You don't have to touch this once it's defined. But I'm going to go ahead and run this now. And once I've run this, we're going to see a timestamp. We're going to get a confirmation that it's run. The documents will push through. And if I jump back to my Sales Monitor and refresh, you can see that one document was dumped into my Shopify order import queue. That was what was pulled in from my e-commerce platform. And here's the item, here's the customer, all the details are brought over. So now I can go ahead and process that as I would any other order I've received via phone, fax, or other means. When we demo this to customers, it takes about 10 minutes, and that's by design. It's very simple. It's not overly complicated. You set up the mapping, let it run. The other thing that's nice in these settings is once you have that defined, if you want to push this similar definition over to another site, maybe you've bought up a number of domains and you manage those, you want them all to sync, you can just effectively update the API and the password and have that push those documents as well. So very simple to redeploy to other instances of Shopify once you have it all set up. And with that, I'll pass it back to Alex.